Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for, I guess, pretty much the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. So, the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour will begin in 2 days, but in truth, the 27th isn't really going to be anything like super major per se, because it's kind of just the intro to the event. But all of the big information, like the big things happening, will be happening the day after on January 28th. Now, I know a lot of people are disappointed with how the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour is being handled this year, myself included, primarily because it's not going to be live streamed this year. But we did get a few tidbits of positivity, if you will. Obviously, one thing is that there technically is one live stream happening with the Dragon Ball FighterZ tournament that'll be happening during that event. But also, we did get the confirmation that on January 28th, we will be getting the new trailer to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero that will be shown off during the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. We won't get to see everything live, but there will be a premiere that we can look forward to on the 28th to see that. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because as of this recording about an hour ago, the official Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour Twitter account put out a tweet with an update concerning live streaming. And they confirmed that there will be 2 more live streams happening for the event. The first one is the performance by Hironobu Kageyama, which, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the person who made, Chala Hechala, We Gotta Power, and a whole bunch of other songs for Dragon Ball. So he's very, very renowned with this franchise. And of course, he will be there to have his performance, kind of similar to how it was last year before we got the announcement of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. At the time, we didn't know what the name was, but I digress. So that will be live streamed as well. But we did get the confirmation of another live stream that will be happening, and I'm really happy for this one. And it will be the Dragon Ball Daima special panel. So yes, when it comes down to, or at least for me personally, I should say, the super big information for the event, one will be given to us just as a premiere, which will ultimately just be like a video uploaded onto YouTube. And then the other one is going to be live streamed. So again, for Sparking Zero and for Dragon Ball Daima, we are good, which means that even if you're not at the event, you're not going to miss out on both of those things. I'm gonna say relatively in real time. The only reason why I'm saying relatively is because when it comes down to the Dragon Ball Daima special panel, that's gonna be streamed, so that will be real time. But with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, we don't know when that premiere is going to happen apart from it happening that same day. So it could be immediately after it's shown at the Battle Hour. It could be hours afterwards, right? But at the very least, we do know that when it comes down to the 2 biggest things of the event, even if you're not physically there, we will be getting all of that information on the 28th, all of that. So I still stand by saying that they could have handled the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour better this year. Seriously, I just genuinely believe that it should have just been live streamed in its entirety, like how it's been since its inception, right? From the very first Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour to last year's, it was live streamed, right? And it was honestly just an event where, we could just kick back, relax, chill with friends, and just enjoy Dragon Ball, and of course, get all like sorts of new information concerning Dragon Ball games, right? And this time around, it's a really big year for Dragon Ball. I mean, again, we know that Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is getting new DLC. We know Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is getting new DLC. We know that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a thing. Dragon Ball Daima is a thing. Dragon Ball Legends should be getting information during that event. Dokkan Battle should be getting information during that event. Like, heck, for all we know, we can even get some information on the Dragon Ball Super Card Game Fusion World as well. Like, there's so much happening for Dragon Ball this year that it's mind-blowing, and it hasn't been this big in a very, very long while. And I mean that in the sense of we haven't had just a surplus of Dragon Ball content. We are getting fed this year. I'm talking about we literally have a feast. So it would have been nice if they streamed the entire event, but unfortunately, that's just not the case. But when it comes down to the big info, at least we will be getting that on the day of. Now, in terms of everything else, I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm pretty sure for Legends, they're going to put out the information on Twitter, so I'm not too worried about that. I can't really speak on Dokkan because I don't follow Dokkan like that. Xenoverse, I significantly doubt, because they did this last year, right? I significantly doubt that for Xenoverse 2, we're gonna get any of that information until that DLC is close to completion. Because if you guys remember, during the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour last year, they showed off the Orange Piccolo trailer and the Cell Max gameplay as well, and we didn't get the actual like high-res trailer until I believe a few months down the road. So again, I don't know how that's gonna work, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But focusing on Daima for a little bit, if there's one thing that I want them to show us concerning Dragon Ball Daima, it's more characters. Because we saw a few returning characters. Obviously, they got turned into kids and whatnot, and we got glimpses of like the main bad guys. But I want a bit more, man. Like, I want to know, okay, what's at stake? What adventures are they going to go on? Which characters are they going to interact with? Like, how are the villains going to be like? Because ultimately with Dragon Ball Daima, they could have this be something really special when it comes down to Dragon Ball. Again, I know a lot of people are not fond of everybody turning into kids. Like, you know, take that as you will. Like, if that's how they perceive that and they want to deem it as a bad anime, it is what it is, right? Everybody has their preference. But when it comes down to just overall Dragon Ball content, this is good, right? And not only that, we can end up seeing something really, really cool. Like, especially if it's a combat-focused trailer, we can finally see maybe Goku and Vegeta in action a bit more, or something along those lines. Like, anything is possible with the information they're going to be giving us for Dragon Ball Daima, especially if there is a new trailer, which there has to be a new trailer at this point, right? Because the anime should be dropping this year, if I'm not mistaken. So they can't mess this up. Like, literally the next trailer that we get for Dragon Ball Daima, there is no possible way they can mess it up, so long as they show us obviously the main cast, them going on some sort of adventure, and maybe hinting at some of the villains that we will be dealing with. Then everything is all fine. And again, I think it also is really important for them to show us like something crazy during that trailer, just because in correlation with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, there is no way in the world, like absolutely zero possibility, that we are not getting Daima content in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. There is no way at all. So I would at least like to have an initial notion of what could be in Dragon Ball Daima. And if Xenoverse 2 is still going strong at that point, then Xenoverse, you know good and well Xenoverse 2 will be getting Daima content. No way in the world, like, that game would not get it. Like, they have literally everything except for original Dragon Ball. So again, the sky is the limit, but at the very least though, I do still know like a lot of people are not fond with how the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour is being handled. But in terms of the big information, primarily being Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and Dragon Ball Daima, we will be getting all of that information guaranteed on the 28th, with the Daima panel being live streamed for everybody to see. So that's about it. But I do want to know what you guys thought about all of this in the comment section below. Are you guys at least slightly happier at the fact that Dragon Ball Daima will be live streamed for us to, you know, see the panel and whatnot? Or do you guys still deem this as a failure this year and you want them to just do better next year? I'm kind of in like a middle point, because I am happy that Daima is going to be, you know, that panel is going to be streamed, but I definitely want them to do better next year for them to actually stream it straight up, just everything. But either way though, I do want to know you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.